This is the third video for parts of speech, and this one we will talk about preposition, adverb, infinitive, conjunction, and interjection. So again, please follow along in your handout. So the first one is preposition. Now, preposition is a fun one because if you ever look up the definition of preposition in a dictionary, it will say something about relationship of time and space. So again, preposition are words or phrases that show relationship between time and space. So you're like, what the heck does that mean, right? So I like to use this sentence. It is my prepositional phrase sentence. I flew blank the clouds. This is a perfect way to show you exactly what that definition means about words or phrases that shows relationship between time and space. So I flew blank the clouds. What are some words that can fit in there, right? I flew in the clouds. I flew through the clouds. I flew into the clouds. I flew with the clouds, by the clouds, for the clouds, to the clouds, etc., etc. Above the clouds, below the clouds. It goes on and on and on. Okay, so all of these words are called prepositions because what these words show is a relationship between time and space, right? So in the clouds, right? Relationship, it goes inside the clouds, through the clouds, with the clouds, for the clouds. So again, any words that you can fit in here, those are called prepositions. And there's a whole bunch of other words that can fill in here. So if you like, try to find some other words that can fit in there, and those are your prepositions. Now, prepositional phrase rule. Prepositional phrase is this. I flew in the clouds. So here would be your prepositional phrase. I flew in the clouds. This would be your prepositional phrase. Okay, so the prepositional phrase rule says it starts with the preposition. So here's the preposition. It starts with the preposition. Sometimes there's an adjective. Sometimes there's an article. Okay, for this one, there's no adjective, but there is an article, right? Here's the. That's an article. But it always ends with the noun. So here's my noun. So again, prepositional phrase rule says sometimes it starts with the preposition. So in is your preposition, right? Sometimes there's an adjective. This one doesn't have an adjective. Sometimes there's an article. Here's my article. And it always ends with a noun. So that is the prepositional phrase rule. Now, I like to play basketball. So here's a complete sentence. I like to play basketball, right? But it's not a very detailed sentence. It doesn't really give you much detail, right? So the easiest way to add detail is to add prepositional phrases to make the sentence stronger. So I like to play basketball with my friends. With my friends is your preposition, right? With is my preposition. Now, my. Some people, my is a tricky one because some people might say, hey, my is a pronoun, right? Because it looks like a pronoun. Okay, but go back to your prepositional phrase rule, right? There's nothing about pronouns. It says sometimes there's an adjective, sometimes there's an article, but it always ends with the noun. So we know friends is a noun because that's the prepositional phrase. That's what it ends with. So my, it could only be two things. It's an adjective or it's an article. It's definitely not an article because it's not a, an, or the. So that means it is an adjective. So my is an adjective. You might be thinking, well, is it really? Is it an adjective? Well, does it describe the noun? Does it describe the friends? Right? They're my friends. They're not your friends, right? They're my friends. So yes, it does describe your noun. So it is an adjective. So here's my prepositional phrase. Now you can add more prepositional phrases. I like to play basketball with my friends at the park, right? At the park. Here is another prepositional phrase. At would be your preposition. The would be your article. And park would be your noun. Right, so here's another prepositional phrase. Okay, and you can go, on and keep adding more prepositional phrases. Okay, by the beach. By is your preposition, the is an article, and beach is your noun. Right, so again, let's add at here with my preposition. Do I have by? Nope, so let's add by. So again, these are prepositional phrases, okay? Now, it's really important for you to understand it because I'm going to be teaching you a grammar rule. So, subjects and predicate. So, if you remember back in your elementary schools, if you ever learned about subjects and predicate, it's important for you to understand prepositional phrase rules because predicates or subjects, it's subjects. Subjects cannot be part of a prepositional phrase. So this is a rule. Subjects cannot be part of a prepositional phrase. Okay, so again, I'm going to repeat it because it's really important. Subjects cannot be part of a prepositional phrase. So let's take a look at this sentence. All of the bad kids went to the principal's office already. Okay, here's this complete sentence. All of the bad kids went to the principal's office already. Okay, so let's find the predicate. Predicate is the verb and everything after that. So where's the verb? Well, here it is, right? This is my verb. So went is your verb. So went to the principal's office already. This is the predicate of the sentence. Now the subject is who or what is doing the action of the verb, right? Or who or what is connected to the verb. Okay. So when you look at the sentence and you ask somebody, well, what's the subject of the sentence, right? Who's doing the wenting, the action of went? Okay. People would say, oh, it's kids. This is the subject. Right? That's what people would say. They would say, okay, yeah, kids is my subject of the sentence, right? Because they are the ones that are doing the action of the went. But remember, subjects cannot be part of a prepositional phrase. Now, are there prepositional phrases in here? Okay. To the principal's office. Here's a prepositional phrase, right? To the principal's office. Okay, so I'm gonna black that out, so that's gone. Okay, any others? Of, here's a preposition of, right? Did I have that on here? No. So of is a preposition. I flew of the clouds means like kind of around it. So of the bad kids. So here's a prepositional phrase. So I am going to block that out. Okay. So now I'm left with all went already. Okay, all went already. So where's my subject? Well, kids cannot be your subject, right? Because it was part of prepositional phrase. So subject is all. So all would be your subject. All is doing the action of went. Okay, so again, it's really important for you to understand parts of speech because if I told you in grammar, right, your sentences are grammatically incorrect because your subjects are not matching your verbs. So you have subject-verb agreement errors, okay? And so if you did not know parts of speech, you would have thought that kids would be your subject. And so, you would have had an incorrect verb, okay? So it's really important, again, for you to understand parts of speech. While we're here, let's do parts of speech. So we all know that all is your subject, right? Of is your preposition. The is your article. Bad kids. Bad is your adjective. Kids is your noun. Let's bring back my verb. To the principal's office already. To is preposition. The is an article. Principal. Now it looks like a noun, but it's acting like an adjective because you're describing the office, which is your noun, right? You're going to the principal's office. You're not going to the janitor's office, You're going to the principal's office. So this is your adjective.